it's all about Speak No Evil, John. It's all about the director talking about, obviously, the trailer that's just came out as well. And obviously, James McAvoy, fellow Scot, who's starring in this film. And James Watkins, the director of Speak No Evil, has expressed his frustration with movie trailers, often revealing more than filmmakers' intent. His latest film is a remake of the acclaimed Danish horror of the same name, originally directed by Christian Taftrup. The 2022 movie quickly gained a cult following among fans of psychological thrillers. In the remake, Scottish actor James McAvoy stars as Paddy, the father of a British family with a dark secret. McAvoy stated that he's based his character on the toxic influencer Andrew Tate. The new version changes the nationalities of the families to British and American, with Mackenzie Davis and Scoot McNairy playing Louise and Ben Dalton, a couple with a young child who visit Paddy's seemingly idyllic estate after meeting him. His wife Chiara Aisling, Francis Scosi, and their son Ant while on holiday in Italy. Watkins opted to alter the original film's ending, but has since expressed his disappointment that a key part of the film was revealed in the trailer. As a filmmaker, you don't make the trailer, you watch it and respond to it, he told Variety. He observed that trailers today often reveal more than the director would prefer, though he acknowledged their importance in attracting audiences. It's very easy as a filmmaker to get precious and want a classy poster, he said, but these people are skilled at their jobs and know how to ensure people see your movie. It's just a different creative aspect of the industry. It's funny, John, I always thought the director was involved in part of the sort of trailer part of it, but it does make sense that you'd leave that sort of marketing part of it to the experts, I suppose. But at the same time, it's his work you're tampering with, and I always find, and we always talk about it, John, when we do reactions on horror films or thrillers or anything like that you don't want to see too much. So I totally get where he's coming from. If there's a key moment in that trailer that he didn't want revealed, perhaps maybe there should be a collaboration when it comes to trailers.
I'd be stunned if there isn't.
Yeah.
I'd be stunned if the director's not got a say in what goes out. Ultimately, it's his vision. He's the main man that's brought this to life. He's hands-on with the actors on set, day in, day out, over maybe a 2-month production or a month production. And he should be able to veto what goes out in a trailer if he doesn't want it to go out. It blows my mind slightly, Stephen. I never really put too much thought into trailers and who's involved in the creation. I just assumed that it would be production team, director, editor.
Yeah.
They're in the process of putting a cut together. They'll say, right, just take this and take that, boom, put out a trailer. I never really thought that there was a separate team working together. But like you says, I suppose it does make sense because they have to kind of cut it up in a way and show the real highlights
from
without
Blumhouse,
fucking
John.
spoiling it.
So,
Blumhouse,
they know what they're doing with their trailers. I think he does touch
the
on that.
concept's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got no time for Andrew Tate. I think the guy's an absolute bell end to
I don't
fucking
know who that
Matrix.
is.
The Matrix, escaping the Matrix. He's just a kind of guy. He was on TikTok, I think.
Right,
he's over in Romania.
I've heard him.
Just, influencing younger guys and saying that, look, women are this, they're that. You don't need them. You don't need this. Treat them like that. Just a really toxic, misogynistic guy. Thinks he's quite clever. Can play chess and whatnot. Because he's got 5 cars. I think he's got them anymore, but he's just some bellend that's got too much influence, and I don't even know to this day how the fuck he's managed to get the amount of influence he's got. But I suppose that's TikTok for you. There's a whole host of people out there who have got influence, and just watching a video earlier on tonight, I'm going to make you famous. Who the fuck are you? Who are you? Some random Scottish woman, I'm going to make you famous. Fuck are you?
John, what do you think
clown.
about terms of new films taken from an adaptation of an already existing film? And that's why I want to mention it's only 2 years ago it was made, and I find sometimes it doesn't transcend well. I think sometimes the originals are always better, certainly Danish films.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of the
Danish ones. That one with the there was one with what's he called again? He's got a mental Danish name. Fucking it begins with an O. Oh, you know what I'm talking about? Was it the Autopsy of Jane Doe? Surely it wasn't that, because that one wasn't phenomenal. I think it was, Yeah, Andre Ovredal. Don't think that was Danish either. Is he even Danish? He may be Norwegian. He's fucking Norwegian.
But the point.
But I did watch Land of Mine, which was Danish, and they've got a really great way of fucking putting films together. Stephen, it's one of the things I've spoken about time and again on this channel. why it's really important to go and watch films from other regions, and why I can't quite understand the criticism at times we've had for watching certain Indian films from people from that region. Like, why are they watching this? Why would you do this? You not get your own films. That's so incredibly small-minded, narrow-minded.
Well, I don't know, is John, for a start, and
You gain so much knowledge about a culture, about a country from the way they present art to the world, and there's little quirks in the way they produce things.
Yeah, well, exactly, and I think sometimes that's lost in translation. And two of the films that I can think of right away as Funny Games was one of them. The original film, it was a horror, it was an absolutely terrible thing that happened in the film, but I always felt the American remake was just not as good. It was okay, but it wasn't as good. The one I'm looking at now, John, was obviously Mads Mikkelsen's The Hunt, which I saw. I think I may have reviewed this back then. It was a fantastic film. Yeah, it wasn't a paedophile though. It was just this rumour going about it. It's just how a rumour could start and snowball and ruin a person's life. And I think it was the first film I saw him in, and I just thought, I like this guy. I think he was in Hannibal as well round about that time, or maybe just before it, but this was the first thing I saw him in. It was a phenomenal film, and it was just made me think, I don't mind watching this in Danish. As you said, we're very experienced in terms of watching films from all over.
French, Italian, German, Danish.
Subtitles don't bother me. But it was just, at the time I always remember thinking, I don't know if there was ever a remake of this, but there probably is. I just thought, no, this is the perfect version of this film. It shouldn't be touched. I'm just a little bit concerned. I don't think we did a reaction on Speak No Evil at any point, John.
No, we didn't.
Or consider it. I'm surprised because we're fans of James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Maybe we just missed it. But I'm just thinking...
Yeah, it's a bit dodgy, that,
2022 is not that long ago.
I suppose if the director's been inspired by the film and he wants to put his own sort of skew on it, then it's acceptable. If he's not doing a shot-by-shot remake of the original film, then it's not too bad. I mean, you gain inspirations from a multitude of different sources, be it a book, be it real-life event, something you've watched. I mean, we've seen that with music, Stephen, in the past. The Oasis are famously known for being a fucking Z-list Beatles tribute act. With basically all their songs are like rip-offs of the Kinks and the Beatles and whatnot. I wouldn't look at it like that. I mean, they're a pretty good fucking band. They were rock and roll and they were great for their time. I love Oasis, I love Noah, I love Liam. And again, like I says, they took inspiration. There's not a monopoly on inspiration. You can fucking take inspiration from wherever you choose. As long as you're presenting something relatively fresh and there's no issues with that. Not too, I mean, it's a bit weird. But yeah, I mean, I've not seen the film, I've not seen the original film. I'd have to watch it to see if he's completely plagiarised it.
I think it's hard for a team though, whether it be production or marketing or whoever it is, specifically when this genre, and try to promote a film as best they can. I try and look at it from their point of view and go, how do I put this together without giving too much away?
Yeah.
But I need to show good bits. I need to show, and you're like, well, I need to make sure I don't reveal too much either. And they've certainly, I don't know if it was maybe a drop the ball moment or it was deliberate to have the part that he's referring to in there. But I just find that you've got to have a certain knack. And I think in terms of Blumhouse and A24, they have got a way of doing it quite well. I think it just depends on the running time of the trailer itself. If it's something like 2 odd minutes, I think you're sort of dancing with death there.
Did pretty well in terms of rating.
Yeah, what was the running time of the trailer, John?
I will try and find that out. I'm going to very quickly... it's the same name.
Yeah.
Speaking of evil, Danish one. Can I see what the ratings are on that? Pretty high rating as well.
Yeah.
84% Rotten Tomatoes, 84%
it's not bad. That. Yeah, that's really good.
Remakes actually are not remake. The 2024 one's actually higher rated than IMDb.
More exposure as well, isn't it?
Let's find out, shall we? I don't know what I've just typed there. That's absolute fucking gibberish. We're going to bring this up and quickly pause it if we can.
22. Jeez, we're just under 3 minutes. That is a lot. That's
long.
Risky, yeah.
That's a long trailer.
5 months ago it dropped.
But it's great to see a director's team coming out and talking about this, about the pitfalls of promotion.
Yeah.
Because we have spoke many times about India and the way they promote films. Motion posters, musical numbers coming out, and then you've got, I don't know, fucking character-specific trailers, and then you've got the trailers, and then you've got other things coming out. There's lots of really interesting ways to promote a film that doesn't give every single aspect of the film away.
Yeah.
And we've seen that done really well in Indian cinema. So it's interesting to see a Western director come out and saying, look, we kind of tolerate trailers. I prefer just putting a poster out.
Yep.
That's not the reality of 2024 and the way of living. You need to get your product out there or it will get lost. There's so much competition. Excellent statement. A lot is lost in translation. A lot of life, meaning and culture, especially with Indian movies. They get a lot of cultural meanings. Hope you guys are... by the way, guys, hope you're rocking. Sorry, I couldn't read that. I'm stroking out reading a very simple statement. No, Steve's right, man. There's a lot lost in translation. And look, even watching the films, at times we get a lot out of the films and we seem to understand the story in the main, but certainly with Patal Walk and stuff like that back in the day, people were telling us it's a very specific dialect and that particular region are quite wise. Yeah, they're not, what do we call it, witty and sort of, there's a fucking term I was thinking about there, not wisecracking, that's fucking nonsense. They're quite witty and quite bantery with the way they talk, and it was getting lost in also the closed captions. They weren't able to convey the nuances of that dialect, the nuances of what he was saying to that little fat gangster kid. Yeah. When he was going in to take, obviously it was Chowdhury. Yeah. His son took the gun for this little fat bastard. He went back and chastised his gangster father, and we were laughing our heads off, but people were saying that wasn't quite right. Yeah. So right down to literal translation issues, down to maybe getting up to, I don't know, actual cultural stuff being missed, religious stuff.
I think that can happen both ways, though. I mean, I think just thinking of Amir Khan's Forrest Gump film, a lot of people didn't like it because the translation was lost in that. Because it was specifically made for a certain character, certain actor, and certain events in life from obviously a Western perspective, and it just didn't translate well the other way as well. But I totally agree. I think certainly from our experience in watching a lot of Indian cinema and foreign cinema, we'll call it, because we watch Korean stuff as well and watch a lot of European stuff. I would not like to watch a film like All Quiet on the Western Front westernized. I'm saying westernized, it is Western, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Like English,
German and Austrian actors,
with English actors speaking English with a German accent. I hate that. I prefer the authenticity of a film.
Yeah, I've got to agree.
And I do think sometimes it does take you away. We were talking about Ben Kingsley last night, John. And certainly that film. Although he's a phenomenal actor, it's an interesting story.
Yeah, but he's playing a 55-year-old guy and he's in his 70s.
It takes you out of the picture. There's no authenticity. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with that statement.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Stephen. Yeah. And what you mentioned, Korean cinema, that's another example of remakes. They're trying to do a remake of Parasite for Western cinema. There's absolutely no need to remake Parasite. It's universal. The theme's been explored. Bong Joon-ho, I always screw his name up, Bong Joon-ho. It's one of the two. Is a masterful director. He's worked with Western actors in the likes of Snowpiercer. He made an unbelievable film. It's one of the greatest films I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. That doesn't require a Western remake. No. It doesn't require a TV show. You don't have to.
I just stay away from it. I don't even go near it, John. No. If I've seen the original film from its original country, I don't go near the Western remake. I just don't think there's any need for it.
There is no need. It was a masterful film. Just don't remake things. But again, Speaking of Evil may be different because it's not a remake. Yeah. It's gained inspiration from a film. And again, you're perfectly fucking entitled to look at something and think, I like that concept, but I think I can do it better and do it slightly different. And then go and do it better or slightly different. By all accounts, his is rated higher. Same on Rotten Tomatoes, but rated higher with the audience.